Yes, welcome to tutorial 2. As you can see, I've added in my other end over there, which is something that I've just done while you were transferring from one tutorial to the next. But I thought I'd better show you some other things, just some helpful tips and techniques. If we come over here, we've got a little delete tool. This is really handy if you want to trim some lines. So I'm going to choose this one, delete. And this is sort of handy. Let's say I don't want that section there, or I want to trim a line in between 2 points. That's helpful for trimming. So use that one to your advantage. Righto, the next thing I'm going to show you is the text tool. So if you want to add your initials or something like that, the text tool's probably the best one to use. So over here we've got sort of the ABC, that's your text tool, and it's as simple as grabbing your text tool, clicking and dragging out. I'm just going to click anywhere and then typing the text you want. Okay, so for me, we're going to go Mr. W. You've got your settings in here, so you can change the size, you can change the font to one that you like. So there's all these different fonts here, so you could choose a nice thick font like that. You've got the height down here that you can change, but you can also change it when you come back to the actual design. So I'm just going to click OK and see what size that is. OK again, and there we go, Mr. W. That's a nice size, but I need to rotate it. So what I'm going to do is jump up to my arrow tool. I'm going to select my text, and this little circle here, you can resize it. So this one here, we could make it smaller or bigger, and if I hold down shift, it will actually keep the aspect ratio as well. But I'm just going to leave that one, yeah, about that size. That's okay there. And I'm going to rotate it because I want it on my outer edges. Okay, and I want it the right way up. So I'm going to rotate it around there. Oh, another tip before we do that, I'll just Control Z and undo, is if I use this one here, the radial lock, it will lock it to perpendicular and horizontal. So watch the difference here. See how it's locked it at 90 degrees? And that way it's perfectly aligned with my tea light stand. Just a little tip if you want to keep it straight. I'm then going to slide that one up and pop it somewhere there. I might need to make it a tiny bit smaller, I've decided, so I'm going to hold shift and make it a little bit smaller. That's probably a better size.
Please come in here.
Sorry about that, just a short interruption, but I'm back with you. As you can see, I've just resized it, and I'm just going to pop that into the center there. Okay. Now, a little tip, don't redo the text again. All you can do is, if you've got it selected, Control C and Control V, and hey presto, I've got some text up the other end too. But I'm going to rotate this one round. I've still got my 90-degree selection already there, so now I've got it up the other end, and I can move that around. Another thing that might be helpful for you is this one, grid lock. Okay, you can see I've got a grid set up. If I double click, I can change the size of that grid. So it's set at 10 millimeters at the moment between each little square. You could change it if you want. I'm going to leave it. But if I click grid lock, it means that everything's now going to snap to the grid. So see how when I move, it snaps to the grid. So if I wanted to keep this centered on the grid line, I could use that. Obviously, I'd have to have my design centered, which it isn't. Okay, so just a tip, you can use that if you want, but it's just a matter of unclicking there, double clicking to get the size of the grid, or just clicking once to unlock it. So I'm just going to center these manually. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. Okay, just as long as it sort of looks centered, just clicking and putting that in the center there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. That's it for this tutorial. Next tutorial, I'm going to show how to import a picture into your design. So move on to the next one.